Hi, I'm Georgeann Robinson, and you are watching GFG TV.
Alright, we'll get kicked off here. First off, thank you for sitting down with us here at GFG TV. We appreciate your time. And if you want to just start off with what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Georgeann Robinson, and I'm from Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa. So you were born and raised here?
Yes, I was born and raised here.
Okay, so you were born here in town? What hospital?
Broadlands.
Broadlands Hospital. Okay, nice. So can you go through like your younger part of your life, like before you went to school, maybe your first school? What side of town were you on?
The east side.
You're on the east side, okay. All right. And
first school name was Lucas.
Lucas. Wonderful.
In kindergarten.
Kindergarten. Okay. Did you go there for quite a few years, or?
Just kindergarten. Then we moved on 19th Street, and I went to. I can't think of that school now. I think Lucas was the second school.
Okay.
But I can't remember that school that was on the east side.
Oh, for the kindergarten?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it not there anymore? Is it an older
No,
school?
it's not there anymore.
Okay. Cool. So.
It's up on it was on Capitol Street, off of Grand, East Grand.
Okay.
Capitol.
Capitol and Grand.
But I can't remember the name of the school now.
So talk about your childhood. Did you were on the east side and then you moved? Did you have some friends from before, friends after? Was that like east side to west side that you moved?
From the east side to west side.
Okay.
Stayed with my grandma, and then when my parents got a house on the west side, we moved to the west side.
To the west side.
What did your parents do for a living?
My mom was a surgery technician, and my dad drove a truck, 18-wheeler.
So a surgeon technician, you said. Okay, and then CDL truck driver. Oh, that's two different sides of two different coins there. That's cool. Talk about your mom. Like, did she work locally? Was she traveling, or?
Oh, she worked locally. She worked at Methodist. It's called Iowa Methodist Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where she worked at
Methodist
for
Hospital.
about 45 years.
Wow.
In surgery.
Wow. That's crazy. That's 4.5 decades of. Yeah, that's crazy. And then you said your dad drove truck.
My dad lived in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Minnesota, so he drove truck. I just seen him when he came to visit. And when I turned 12, that's when I started seeing him more, and I started going up there and visiting him.
Okay.
So you didn't grow up, with your mom and dad in the same home?
Some of it, most of it. Most of it I did, and then when my sister got her own apartment, I went with my sister Pat, lived with her, so I could help her with her baby, Terry.
How many siblings do you have?
I have, we had 8, but now there's only 5 of us now.
Could you name all your siblings?
Yes, I can. Okay, Billy, Patty, Vito, Bobby, Charles, and Noveline.
And out of all of them, who's still living and who's not with us today?
All of us that are living now is my oldest brother Billy and my brother Vito and my sister Pat and my sister Bobby and my sister Muffy.
Out of all your siblings, who would you say you were the closest to growing up?
My sister Pat. I was always with my sister Pat.
Nice. And you said you moved in with Pat? Is that
Yes.
the one that you moved in with?
Pat,
Okay.
I moved in with her when I think I was about 12 years old. We lived behind my mom in a haunted house.
The haunted house. That's cool. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we did.
Talk about that. Talk about the haunted house a little bit.
Yeah, what about your experiences there?
Oh man. It's crazy.
Yeah?
Yes.
Do you have an instance that stuck out in mind?
There's a lot. We would be down. We lived upstairs at first, an apartment, and then when the people that moved out downstairs, it was like a 3-bedroom apartment, you know, we moved down there. And when we moved down there, we were the only people for a long time in the whole building. And we would hear footsteps and stuff upstairs, walking and knocking, and their doors down in our house would get cold. Doors would be cold and stuff, and we'd feel all this draft, and it was haunted.
That's bad.
It was haunted.
That's crazy.
And you knew nobody was upstairs, but you could hear people walking and stuff rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that if you haven't ever experienced it, it's creepy. I lived in a house similar, so when you say that, it rings so many bells.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff you would like, man, I wish I was filming. I wish I was filming.
No, I know.
I did. Oh my God. I want some proof of what just happened to me. My God.
I saw it. That's it. I don't want no memories of it like that. Ooh.
That's pretty.
Yeah, so that's when we were young, yeah.
Yeah, and too, like, that's your home. You know,
That's
when you live somewhere that's like that, it's a lot different than just being there.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Because things get comfortable, and spirits get comfortable, and things start to show themselves more and more. They're not scared of you no more.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was scary, man.
So how long were you there?
We probably lived there probably like maybe a couple years. About a couple years there.
Did you get a good night rest when you moved out?
Yeah, I was a little then, you know. I was
Yeah.
like about 13 or 14 then, and you know, after we moved out. We moved out because the caught on fire upstairs.
Oh wow.
The landlord was spraying for bugs and stuff, and he did something and it caught on fire. So we had to move out.
So is it safe to say that you believe in spirits and ghosts?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
What do you think is the scariest thing that you've seen as a child, or most wildest thing that you've seen pertaining to spirits or ghosts?
When I was waiting for my boyfriend,
How old do you think you were?
I was about 15.
Okay.
And that was when we lived on 26th Street, the haunted house. I was taking a bath. It's summertime. Taking a bath. The room got ice cold. Ice cold. And then I could hear I could see the doorknob turning. Yeah, it just kept turning. I was going, who's out there? Who's out there? You know? And I finally jumped out of there and I turned. There was nobody, but that was the ghost upstairs. So, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, and that gives me chills.
Yeah, I mean, it was hot out there and the bathroom was just freezing.
So when you first moved in with your sister, you said you were 12.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the first time that you think you had experiences with spirits or ghosts, or did you have some prior to that?
No, that was then. That was the first time in that building.
Moving into that was the first time ever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ever had anything like that happen to you since? I'll take that as a yeah.
No, you might think I'm crazy, but I'm not. Yes, my husband passed. So, the Lord. Oh, I saw him walking around the bed. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So do you feel like you seen him clearly, or was it a shadowy figure, or how was it?
It was just a blue figure, it was his height, and it was about his size. And he was walking like he always do around the bed.
Did that scare you at all, or how did you feel?
I just looked at him. I was sleeping, I just woke up and I seen that. I just looked at him, and then I just turned around and went on back to sleep, because I have no reason to be scared. I didn't do nothing to him but love him, so, but I've seen that.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy. I've seen that.
Yeah.
It woke me up.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. I seen him just walking around. Terry, I told you, just walking around. Yeah, And just like normal, I've seen him come in the room, when he was alive, and You know, I'd look at him, I'd see him, and just turn my head and go on back to sleep, and that's what I did.
Yeah,
So he's around.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Our loved ones are around us.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they're comfortable enough to show or not, that's, yeah. They will if they're comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, he's comfortable because he's walking around a lot.
Yeah, he's mama for the spot. You're going to Tyler?
Yeah,
Beer.
So let's talk about your mother a little bit. How was your mother growing up?
My mother growing up, my mother worked a lot. So we didn't really spend a lot of time with my mother because she worked like 311s. She went to school, you know, for a while when we were little, and then she would go to work, but she always worked 311 shifts, so we didn't really see her much, but on the weekends,
Yeah.
well, my sister Pat's the one that really took care of us, you know.
So she was more like a mother to you in a sense, or kind of like a mother figure?
Yeah, she took care of us, made sure we all had clean clothes, and, you know, my mom worked nights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was your mother a disciplinarian at all, or was she easygoing?
Boy, no. She was a boy. She would get on you, boy. She would get on you.
Yeah.
She didn't play.
Yeah.
And she didn't care who was there. She didn't care.
No shame in her game, huh?
No shame. Mm-mm. No shame in her game, nope.
Talk about a time you maybe got in trouble when you was young. The time you got in big trouble by your mother. A time that you remember.
Oh, well, the time I remember when we stole all them cigarettes when we were little.
Cigarettes, huh?
Cigarettes.
How old were you?
Oh, God. We did a lot of stuff. It was before I was 12.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we did a lot of stuff, and I heard the girl name was Kathy that stole them, but we were with her. Me and my sister Bobby, we were with her. Mm-hmm.
So no dry snitching. Was it from an establishment?
It was from a store.
Okay.
It was on 23rd and University. I can't remember the store. You know where the bank is? That U.S. Tel Bank? It was right across. Used to be a grocery store. A little store there on that corner. And we used to go in there, and she would go in there and tear up on them cigarette cartons. That's how good she was.
Wow.
And we would always be with her.
So, did they used to like not have cigarettes behind the counter?
No, you can. They were just like out like candy.
They're out like candy. Alright, that's something different.
You know, they're out like candy, and you didn't have to have a note. I could buy cigarettes at 12.
Wow.
Yeah, I could buy cigarettes at 12. Just wrote a note. You know, you had a note for your mom. Wrote your mom's name on it, and give them the note, and they would give you cigarettes.
Wow.
Yeah.
How'd y'all get caught?
Kathy's mom's boyfriend, we hid him in the garage. Like, you know, like 3 houses from mom, that duplex, that red one. Yeah, that one. She hid him in the garage, and her mom's boyfriend found him. And told her boyfriend, and she told on all of us, and whoa, we got in trouble. Oh yeah, we had to go out and pick our own switch.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so
rough. That's rough. So you said that you got to spend more time with your dad when you were a little bit older. Could you what was
My dad would come and
ages?
see me, but you know, just like every once in a while.
Okay.
But when I got older, I started going to see him every summer.
Okay. So you spent summers.
A couple weeks with him.
Okay.
So I got to know him better then.
Was that so? You age around? You moved in with Pat around 12. Was that around then when you started to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your dad's name?
My dad's name is George Everett Jefferson.
And
What memorable moments do you have visiting him up in Minnesota or Minneapolis?
He always would cook us some cabbage and ham. The best cabbage and ham. Oh my God.
yeah.
And have this cornbread, all this butter on it, and that was every time I come up with Dad, please cook that. He would cook that.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Make me hungry.
It was good. It was good. That was his Sunday dinner.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So did you do anything else fun while you're up there? Did you do any fishing? I know there's a lot of lakes up
No,
there.
no, we didn't do any
fishing?
fishing.
Anything, any activities you did up there?
When I got older, I started taking my girlfriends, and we would go up there.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And visit. And we would go out to the clubs
There you
and stuff. And, mm-hmm.
What was the name of some of the clubs? Do you remember?
One of them was called the Peacock Lounge.
Peacock Lounge.
Mm-hmm. That was just like the Elks run-down thing. That's what it was. But everybody went there. We would see people from Des Moines there.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. You guys don't know Luther Glanton. You know, he was up here, he lived here, and he was up there. We would go up there and see him up there, and it was like, wow. You know, you knew somebody up there.
Yeah.
But it was alright. It was alright. We had fun. We would have fun.
So,
Did you have siblings on your father's side at all?
I had I called them my step-sisters and brothers, yeah. But I had a brother from my dad, and his name was George, too. So there's 3 Georges.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about your brother a little bit.
Georgie?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we called him Georgie. He was something else. He was something else. He was little and big headed. Tough. He was bad. He was bad. But he was my dad's boy, though. He was my dad's boy. My dad would always call him Dummy.
That's a heck of a nickname.
Yeah, he would ride with my dad. We would go riding. My dad always took us around when we came up there, and he would ride in the middle of the car, you know, the car in the front, and he sat there by my dad. I'm trying to tell my dad what to do. My dad said, "Oh, shut up, you dummy," and that was his name, Dummy. Mm-hmm. But he knew he was all right. Until he got older, and then he got in the wrong stuff.
Talk about your stepmother a little bit.
Oh, my stepmother, I loved her.
What's her name?
Her name was Miss Faye. I called her Miss Faye, but her name was Faye. That was my dad's woman.
Okay.
They never did get married, but that was his woman. He was with her forever, and that was Georgie's mom. Miss Faye. She was so sweet.
What was her name?
Miss Faye. Faye.
What was her last name?
Whitell. But you know what? I just knew it was Miss Faye. Winifred. That's her real name. Winifred Whitell. That was her name. Winifred Whitell. And my dad called her Faye. So, you know, he introduced me as Faye, so I started calling her Miss Faye.
Okay. So we got through almost to like the high school years, but like around then, would you go to school? Where were you here? You were doing your schooling?
I went to Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, okay. You talk about that? Talk about that a little bit. Maybe some friends that you had from there.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Went to Roosevelt.
Who were some of your good friends at Roosevelt?
It was like a girl named Gayleen and Sheila, and see, we had Paula. Wow. I don't know. Well, I guess I didn't. I had friends, but I guess those were the ones that I really hung around with the most.
What year did you graduate?
1974.
1974. What was your maiden name?
Georgeann Jefferson.
You had to think about that.
I had to think about it because when I was born, my name was Georgeann Stewart.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it was Georgeann Stewart. And then, when I got in when I went to elementary, I had my stepfather's name, Mash.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, when I started going to junior high, my dad had signed papers for me to be a Jefferson. So that's how I got my name Jefferson, but I was all 3 of my family's names.
So there was a point in time where you went to school and you had all 3 of those last names.
Yes. Well, no, I was Mash when I went to school.
Okay.
But when I was a baby, I was born as a Stewart. So everybody knew me as Georgeann Mash.
How old were you when you changed?
My name?
Yeah,
I was in junior high.
Junior high.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Junior high, so.
Talk about a memorable moment from Roosevelt. A good moment from Roosevelt that you remember.
That I graduated. I didn't like school.
Yeah.
I didn't really like school.
What about first job?
First job, I worked at Wesley Acres.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do there?
I worked in housekeeping. It was a
Okay.
summer job.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. It's like the summer programs, and I started working there. And then after the summer program was over, they asked me did I want to stay on. And I said yes, but I didn't want to be a housekeeper. Because we had to clean all the time at home.
Yeah.
So then they had me be a nurse's aide. And I was at Wesley Acres for like 17 years. I had my boys when I was at Wesley Acres.
Wow.
My 2 boys, yeah. So,
Nice. It's a heck of a first job.
yeah, I was there a long time.
Yeah. Not a lot of people could say that their first job they had that long. That's a rare thing. I can't even, man, mine was like, not that long.
My first job, I think I was at Sonic Drive-In on Euclid.
I think my first job I had through a summer, and then it was over. I did a lot of working in fields.
In the
I did
field?
clean walk-in, and I did a lot of corn tasseling.
Oh, yeah, in the summer, the program.
I did that from way young.
Yeah.
And man, after so many summers of that, I dove at the first opportunity of something separate because, I mean, you get used to it, but man, you cut yourself all up and it's just rough work. Hot, rough work. But, so you worked in the care industry, like kind of followed a little bit in your mother's footsteps, would you say?
Yeah. Yeah, I followed her later on when Tyree was 2 and went to Methodist Hospital.
So that was your move?
That was my move from the nursing home, yeah.
Okay. So another Methodist worker, that's cool. So anybody that has attended and been to Methodist for any reason, may have interacted with your family. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know we went over a job and everything, but when you got out of high school, when you graduated and anything, where was the spot in town to go party at? Like where were you?
Wilkie House.
Wilkie House. You talk a little bit more about that. You got some good memories from there.
Wilkie House was on 16th and Crocker, I think. That's the way the street is. It's by the street that goes by Oak Ridge. Yeah, we used to go there and play basketball. I used to play basketball.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good too.
All right. So through high school and everything you played basketball?
Yeah.
Nice. So you was earning some money afterwards, huh? You was getting some money from people off the courts out there?
I wish.
Start betting on them games.
I used to love basketball. Yeah, I played
Yeah.
basketball.
Were you a basketball fan? Did you watch basketball?
I can.
Yeah? Do you have a favorite team?
Lakers.
Lakers. There you go. There you go. Who's your favorite player?
It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Right.
Then after that, he left. It was just, Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
And then
Nice.
after that, it was just Magic Johnson. I didn't really care anybody else.
You ever been to a Laker game?
No.
You ever been to a professional sports game?
No.
You get on that, right?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll wrap for that episode.